Whew, it is hot. Oh my gosh, I'm ready for summer to be over. Anyway, I wanted to talk about learning curves and what that means. But first, let me backtrack a little bit before I really get into depth about this topic. I wanted to tell you about for the past couple of weeks, I've really been struggling um, with my studies and trying to improve on, you know, trying to improve on areas on my ASL skills. I've been working with a mentor. Also been going to deaf events and socializing and trying to get my skills to a specific level, advanced. So yeah, I realized, damn, this is hard. This is a hard thing to do. But you need to realize that ASL interpreting is not easy. It's hard. Interpreting is hard. And you need to invest in a lot of time and effort to become, experienced and a skilled interpreter. So, yeah, there's a lot of work and practice that it takes. And, effort. And that's why I wanted to talk about learning curves. Because another thing, anything that you do hard, you will have, a variety of different levels of this. And it goes from starting at not knowing anything to going all the way up to skilled and an expert. That's why I wanted to talk about learning curves. But first we need to start what is even a learning curve? So imagine this. You have a chart, right? This is my chart. And down at the bottom of the chart across you have the number of reps, the time you're putting in, your effort, your practice. And then on the side of the chart going up and down, you have all the levels, the stages that you're at. So when you're trying to master something hard, a skill that you're trying to master, you will have this learning curve that you go through. And you start at the first stage. This is going to be your starting point. And this point is called, well, hold on. I was writing things down about this with my notes. So, right here, this stage is called the unconscious incompetence. So, this is meaning that you don't know what you don't know. You don't have the skills. So, after that, you go to the next stage. You start to go up. You start practicing. I'll just set up an example. So if you know ASL, maybe you ran into a deaf person, they're signing, and you're noticing that, and you're interested, and you want to know more of what that means. Maybe you start wanting to learn, how to sign. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, so after that, I'll start signing. Maybe you'll watch some videos and sign copy a couple of them and start to use ASL signs, right? So after that process, now you're up here. And so this stage is called, hold on, I gotta check my notes again. Sorry guys. It's called conscious incompetence. So this is meaning that now some signing. You start using, maybe you know how to spell your name, and a few basics level signing. But maybe you don't know how to use them properly. Maybe you don't have um the correct ASL sentence structure, and you're really trying to figure out how to use that. So that's where you're at. So you're still incompetent because you're trying to figure out how to use it. Use the correct sign, but you're aware. You understand that this is a little bit hard, right? Okay, so now we're going to go up to the third stage. And this is called the conscious competence. I'm just going to spell it out for you. Um Conscious incompetence. Ooh, sorry, I just can't spell. But this means now you know what's happening. You're being informed what's happened. This time you're keeping basic level conversations. Maybe you're walking up to a deaf person and you're finger spelling your name, you're asking questions, and you're trying to get a response, you're getting responses back, and you're making good conversation with the person who is maybe deaf or another hearing person that knows sign language. And you have that communication in ASL. So now you're going through that process. Now it's time to advance those skills, and now you done hit the curve. Now you're at the unconscious competence stage, and I'll just spell it out for you. Unconscious unconscious competence, meaning you are skilled, you are an expert, you're naturally doing this thing, and you are confident to walk up to a person and to introduce yourself and ask questions and get a response back and really just have that conversation back and forth to people, and have that communication with people in a language that you really never used before you started learning it. So, yeah. Hopefully I could make a clear picture for you, but the thing with the learning curves and anything you try to do that is hard, just know that it's never just like a linear thing. You're never gonna just go straight up. You will have this curve where there's ups and downs as you're putting the reps in. And that's what a learning curve is. And that's what you need to do to become, skilled and experienced and what people call in this profession seasoned, a seasoned interpreter. You will need to get through that learning curve to become skilled. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Um, Someone that's in the interpreting industry or new and trying to get on this journey of becoming an ASL interpreter or a certified ASL interpreter, understand that when you first start, it will be hard. It will be a challenge. You will face many, many hardships and struggles when trying to improve, but you really need it. Well, it's a requirement because that's the only way you can improve, by going through that learning curve. And that's okay because when you experience that, you will become better. You will, and more skilled and more advanced with your skills. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's how you become certified. So, yeah. I just wanted to make this video. If you're someone who's struggling in your ASL and interpreting journey, understand that that's okay. You will make it through. Just continue and just continue practicing. And once you do that, you will start to see the improvement happen. I can promise you that. So if you have value from this video, please like and share with someone who would maybe be interested. And also comment down below, if you are struggling with, your ASL interpreting journey or anything that you're struggling with. Um, what is something you want to improve on, you know, in your interpreter journey, or something you're trying to become, you know, skilled in. Let me know. I'd love to know. And by the way, I'm Natalie. This is my sign name, and I'm a working interpreter, but my goal is to become a certified ASL interpreter. Thank you. Take care. I'll see you soon.